I'm Thorn Dickinson. I am excited about sharing with you authentic conversations from Mainers throughout the state about the value this project delivers. We're headed up to Augusta. We're going to meet with some of the people and some of the engineers that have been with me on this journey from the very beginning. Reflect back a little bit on the path we've been on and talk a little bit about the future. I remember, years ago when I moved to Maine, hearing your name around and people spoke very highly of you. When did we actually get the chance to start working together?
It probably was, early 2017, about the time we heard we were in the running. I think we had just submitted the proposal for this project. I mean, this is a once-in-a-career project to build a DC line like this. I mean, these projects don't come along very often, so I was very excited on the opportunity to potentially jump over and start working on this project on a full-time basis.
When you were first looking at that back in 2017, you were thinking about, what if this actually happens? Is it strange now to kind of think back about that time, given the fact that we're right now on the verge of construction?
Growing up in Maine and being familiar with the area that this project's going to be built is very exciting, because when we talk about these areas, I can picture them. I've been there on snowmobile, I've been there hunting, been there on four-wheelers, so I know these areas, and it's funny sometimes when people talk about these areas and their opinion of them, because my opinion sometimes is much different on what they see or they think about.
As a snowmobiler, I'm assuming you're hoping to get out in the snow hopefully soon.
I'd like to, if we get some snow, yeah.
There's some subject out there, some discussion out there about that this could have some negative impacts on snowmobilers.
Many of these roads that we're going to be using to access the right-of-way are historically old logging roads that have not been used for that purpose in a few years. And we're going to be grading them. We're going to be adding gravel to them. So once we get through this initial season, the next season, when there's no construction going on, the snowmobile clubs are going to have a much better opportunity to make these trails that much better, with the base underneath them already being improved as part of the project.
When is your first memory of this project? Whether it be the original projects we thought about in the corridor or this one. What's your earliest memories of it?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the 2013, 2014 time frame. It was really just exploring ideas and opportunities. Trying to find ways to integrate renewable energy and make the grid stronger. This was one of several scenarios to accomplish that goal. It's just been an amazing chapter. Honestly, for a utility engineer like me, this is like a once-in-a-career type project. I mean, it's really, really amazing and exciting. So, and then even more so, the other thing that I really get excited about in this project is, I think there's always been this idea of like connecting with Quebec and improving the main grid and strengthening the bulk power system, and this project has the ability to do all those things that we've sort of, let's say, been talking about or has been thought about for 30 or 40 years.
What do you think is most misunderstood, about the project?
It's just one of these things that you hear these people talk about, like, oh, they're just pushing it through, and it's like, it didn't feel like that on my side. I mean, we were constantly redesigning the project to try to, let's say, improve it and try to lessen any potential impacts, and we could go on and on about that. I mean, whether it's the Kennebec River or the other one that sticks out in my head is Moxie Pond, where we added something like 20 to 25 structures to try to keep the heights down and improve the visual simulation. Fiber optics, we sort of at least doubled the number of available fibers to try to improve broadband access. And I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's just, that part is it kind of hurts my feelings a little. Like, the team has worked really, really hard to try to, let's say, consider everybody's viewpoints and try to incorporate those to the best of our ability.
Whenever I think about the project, you come to mind, because, and I say this out there when I'm talking to people, is this whole thing started with a few people sitting around a table sketching out an idea. Now sitting where we are, how do you think about those first days and reflecting back on them now?
Literally, we would go to lunch over there at the market at Pineland and throw around ideas at around the table, and started talking about, you know, all of this clean energy in Canada and how it would be great to find a way to get it into New England. And it's creating a lot of great jobs for people from Maine, including myself. You know, I grew up in Maine, in the Portland area, went to University of Maine, electrical engineering in Orono, was lucky enough to get out of school and go straight to work for Central Maine Power. I've been there for coming up on 35 years. Really have had a great career there in the engineering and project management, and had the opportunity to be involved in several of these large projects.
You have the incredible opportunity to have seen this project from the inside. Most people get their information some other way. What to you is like the most frustrating kind of misunderstandings that people have on the project?
To this day, you hear claims that we're stealing people's land and taking, assembling the corridor by eminent domain, all of which is not true. I mean, every piece of property that this project is on was either you know, purchased by Central Maine Power decades ago, or was procured as part of this project by willing sellers that we negotiated with in good faith.
Part of the reason I do this show is because I'm really passionate about this project, and it's not just because it's good for the company. I really believe it's good for Maine. Is there one aspect of this project that really stands out to you as a benefit that Mainers should know about?
The amount of electrical energy that will travel through this line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, 365 days a year, 1,200 megawatts, is just an incredible amount of clean energy that is going to come into New England.
It was really fantastic to catch up with Justin and Adam and Bill, reflect on the whole journey we've been on together, laugh a little bit about some of the things that happened, and really be proud about some of the accomplishments we made along the way.